Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your monthly reading for November 2025. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Cancer, if you are new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your full spread. And then we're going to break it down week by week. We're going to pull more cards. We'll talk about some aspects. And then we'll do your second spread. Now, the other thing is, if you did see my November astrology overview live stream, I'll leave it at the end of this video because there's a lot I talk about there. Well, if you saw it, you will know that this month is bananas. Okay, you look, yeah, you see that, Cancer? It's all retrogrades and transits. There's more in the back too. More in the back. So what does this mean? It means everything that you've been experiencing in October, which, to be honest, should have been very nice for you, spilling over, okay, into November. And that is your radical transformation that you are experiencing. And to be honest, you're going to continue experiencing a lot more. Remember, Scorpio energy, and we're still in Scorpio season, right? For the first half, it's all about death and rebirth. And this month, it's the rebirth part, okay? Caterpillar to butterfly. And you've actually been going through a lot of changes all year. You listen, and this is really important. I think this is the most important part. Remember when Mars was retrograde in your sign for most of the first half of the year? Well, Mars was in your sign and then in Leo, retrograde in your sign. There wasn't much that was happening. There was a little bit of a quicksandy type of energy. We're going to come back to this. But once you left that, you hit the prison portal. Yeah? Prison portal that started over the summer. You started feeling enormous change, especially with career. If you don't know what the prison portal is, if you're new, I'll leave that video at the end of this video, what you can expect for the next 2 years in your life, Cancer. The prison portal, that rare grand trine, right, that nobody on earth has ever experienced. Anyway, you've been experiencing that. You've been going through a lot of change, and then you went through September's eclipse season, where you learned surprises and twists are super fun. And then last month, the intense, deep, passionate energies that you were experiencing as part of your transformation. Like I said, it's going to continue this month, but this month it's going to be a lot deeper. It's going to be a lot more intense. It's going to be a lot more passionate. And you're going to hit this slow burn. And it's got to be good for you, okay? And it's because of the retrogrades. Sure, we have 5 of them. And those are only planets. Yeah, only planets. We'll talk more about this, obviously, in your weekly forecast. But remember, they're good for you, all right? Like 4-leaf clovers, whatever you want. But here's the thing. November's a little complex. There's a little bit of complexity built into the November system. So this month, this forecast, we're only going to focus on the retrogrades, major lunations, and the transits because they're big. You're in for there's a lot happening, Cancer, but I want you to think of these transits and retrogrades as chapters of your life story. There is going to be a lot that happens as part of your transformation, and to add to the overwhelming bananas energy of November is we have nearly 40 aspects, and those are just planets. So we will discuss those week by week in your weekly forecast. Just know when I say this is going to be a slow burn, yeah, it's going to be a slow burn and a familiar one. Why? Because most of the outer planets will be back where they were before the prison portal began this summer, meaning the first half of the year. There's the reason why I brought it up. Minus the Mars and Cancer and Mars and Leo energy, okay? And so you can bet that November is going to feel a little deja vu-y. And out of sheer coincidence, a lot of the aspects that are happening this month are repeats of aspects from the beginning of the year. So you can bet November is going to feel a little deja vu-y. Did you get what I did there? Anyway, Cancer, come on. You're coming out of this wild vortex the past few months, and now in November, it's all about that interchange, right? you're going within. You're going within, doing some refinement, doing some reflection. Again, all really good for you. And yeah, I'll talk about a couple aspects like hello. Yeah, we'll talk about this. And that's what I was saying. A lot of aspects, big ones, great ones, are spilling over. And just wait, I have a big gift for you. A really big gift when we turn this over, when you see what's happening in the latter half. Wow, really big. And Jupiter trine Saturn, by the way, it is going to perfect in November. So happy daylight savings for November 2nd. You are going through enormous change. Everything is changing. The way that you see things, everything's changing. A lot of you are going on big trips. Very excited for you. Yeah. And the other thing is, it's November's a little, wild, but it's also 2025. So this month, just like every other month, expect occasional urgent decisions, dramatic pivots, unexpected new circumstances, and your radical evolution. All right, now, Tuesday, November 4th, 2 days after daylight savings, if you celebrate that, November 4th, Mars moves into Sagittarius. So buckle up, Cancer, you're about to get really busy. Yeah, Mars, drive, ambition, your drive, action, all of that, right? Leaves the intense domicile, watery energy of Scorpio. Blazes up in Sagittarius, fire sign. Okay. And Sagittarius rules your sixth house of everyday activities and work, routines, health, self-improvement, things like that. Okay. Wellness, all of that. So you're about to get busy AF with a huge exclamation mark. Mars is really fired up. This is for 2 months. Yeah, it's been 2 years since we had Mars in Sagittarius, so think about the end of 2023. Yeah? Here's the thing. Mars in Sagittarius is very spirited. Seeking adventure. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be seeking a lot of adventure, especially learning new things. A lot of y'all are probably getting new jobs. A lot of y'all are probably doing things where a lot of y'all moved. You're probably like situating in new places. There's a lot of health matters here as well. All right. So remember, Mars is physicality. A lot of y'all are probably going to, join a gym, start doing yoga, things like that. So really good for you. But all of this is in the way of broadening your horizons. It's like this month, you're going to be seeking more. You're going to be searching for more on your path to enlightenment. Okay. I like that it happens right at the beginning of the month because it sets your determination for the month. And remember, all about the big picture. You're going to see this, okay? And it's very, Mars is happy-go-lucky in Sagittarius. Now, the other thing is that right off the bat, Mars is going to have an opposition with Uranus. Now, Wednesday, November 5th, we have that full moon in Taurus. So that's happening 8:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 13 degrees. Okay, convert that to wherever you live in the world. This is a really strong full moon. It is potent, not only because the moon happens to be exalted in Taurus, right? The moon rules you, exalted in Taurus, but it's bookended by one of the most challenging aspects of the month, which is Mars-Uranus opposition. And so keep that in mind. I think for you, it's going to be fine. Because remember, Uranus is, in Gemini at this point still before moving into Taurus, which we'll talk about. You're going to love that. But it's also bookended by one of the best aspects of the month. So it's a very interesting full moon that's happening here. But Uranus is at play. And Uranus is at 0 degrees. It's potent, really, really potent. So can bring a little bit of unpredictable energy. You could feel a little bit of that Mars-Uranus opposition. And again, it may have to do with something in work or health, okay? Your daily activities, something with pets as well. Sixth house rules domestic animals. But there may just be some not seeing eye to eye with colleagues or employees or bosses. But at the same time, it could be you. It could be you having a little moment of a wake-up call, all right? But it is a little bit of restless energy to Taurus energy, which is stability. It's an earth sign. You blend really well with this, right? And Taurus is all about your values. It's your material possessions, material foundations, it's self-worth, it's self-value as well. Finances is a really big thing here. So yes, there may be some surprises around this. Here's the thing. Taurus rules your 11th house. So when I see what's happening with this is possibly going to be the biggest turning point that you have this entire year, okay? With Uranus, this full moon in Taurus, and Uranus moving back into Taurus. Taurus rules your 11th house of your future hopes, wishes, and aspirations, and long-term goals and dreams, as well as your support system, your network, benefactors, allies, friendships, groups you belong to, community. So there really is something here where you're possibly going to be leaving a group, you're going to be possibly ending a friendship, or one suddenly ends, right, with Uranus involved. It's hovering right there, okay? Right between Gemini and Taurus. So there just may be something here that is a little bit sudden, but then also at the same time, it's something that's being illuminated. It's a full moon. It's you possibly seeing something about your future. You're like, is this what I really want? Remember, it is a month of retrogrades. You're going to be going within. I want you to think about April 27th this year, okay? It's corresponding to the new moon back then, all right, in Taurus. So something that you began around that time, or something that you were, setting intentions for. But either way, it feels like a little bit of a portal, yeah, with what's coming up. So keep that in mind. Whatever's happening around this time, you're going to want change. You're going to want to have change, but you're going to have to be adaptable to changes that may happen as well. All right. Now, the good news is the aspect that I was talking about was Mars sextile Pluto. Oh my gosh. That is rare. Only happens once a year. It's one of my favorites. It's the two power planets, Mars and Pluto. So when they're getting together in your 6th house, your 8th house, wow, that's really strong. There's something here with love, intense love, true love, romance, building relationships, partnerships. It can be business related, investments, money. There's something here where these two planets are like a wrecking ball for anything that's in your way. All right. So really great, but money really may be a big theme. Now, the other thing is that Venus, as you can see the next day, October 6th, Venus, Taurus's ruler, by the way, is moving into Scorpio. So this is kind of a big deal. You're happy you're out of Libra season. I'm just going to tell you that, right? You're happy you're out of Libra season. You're in Scorpio season, but it's so much better. Your BFF, fellow water sign. And Scorpio rules your 5th house of joy and pleasure and fun and romance and true love and that soulmate energy. The 5th house is creation, it's creativity, it's creative projects, it's sex, it's procreation as well, it's family, it's children. It's a great place, okay? It's a great place. And Venus is moving there now, okay? Pretty much the entire month. So at this point, you've got Mercury, the Sun, and Venus, a stellium of planets, inner planets. You feel the inner planets, okay? You really feel them, right? In Scorpio, which again is all about that deep, passionate energy, that intense transformation that you're going through, especially with love and romance, family, anything that brings you joy, okay? But you got Venus here now. So now you have the planet of love and relationships and money in your 5th house. That's pretty amazing. 5th house, it's like entrepreneur energy as well. So remember what I said last month. What are you willing to endure for what you desire? Well, Venus is a planet of desire, so really hits home here. And again, you're going to have this pretty much all month. And don't forget the Scorpio energy. Again, I talk a lot more about it last week and when we moved into Scorpio season. investigative, really seeking for truth, secrets emerging, secrets coming out, all of that. Yeah. So there can be something here that you're revealing to yourself, revealing to others, something that you're being honest to yourself about, your deep passions. Okay. Whatever brings you pleasure. Venus in Scorpio, by the way, is like, she is wearing like knee-high boots, okay, when she's in Scorpio. So yes, you may tap into a little bit of that villain, that inner villain inside you, because it's all about, this is what I want. I'm going to have it. Nothing's going to stop me. I want this. I'm going to get it. I'm going to have it. That type of energy. And when I say villain, it's really just like Tom and Jerry. All right. You're going to be fine, but you're going to really want things and you're going to get it. And you have Venus in your 5th house. Okay. I hope you like to have fun. All right. I hope you like to have fun. Now, the other thing is that, yeah, you're just going to feel this intensity. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Right off the bat, Venus will square Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius in your 8th house, which is Scorpio's home. And that is also all about relationships as well as money. So you can see there is something here. There may be some power struggles. Those lower expressions of Scorpio may be brought out, which is obsession, jealousy, gossip, things like that. Stay frosty, be cool. You've got so much to look forward to. Now, you see the next day on that, what is it, Friday? Uranus is moving back into Taurus. This is such a big deal, all right? The same way that Saturn and Pisces last month moved, actually, Saturn and Neptune last month moved back into Pisces, yeah, where they've been since March 2023. Uranus is now doing the same thing. So Uranus, a planet of breakthroughs and, awakenings and innovation and freedom and the unexpected and surprises, moves back into Taurus, where it's been since May 2018. So he will be here until April 2026, a couple months. Yeah. So this is a big deal. Like I said, it's just like Neptune moving back into Pisces. This is the last of our lifetime. Unless you live past 84 years, right? It's 84-year cycle here. And so you might be a little bit relieved with Uranus out of Gemini temporarily. That was your 12th house. Uranus moving back into Taurus. Wow. Amazing. Again, that's your 11th house. That is so amazing. It's your 11th house, your social network, it's groups. As I said, it's just connecting with others. Just think networking. It's the biggest thing, the best way to think about it. The other thing is, it is your future hopes, long-term goals, dreams, aspirations. And that's because, the 11th house is Saturn ruled, right? So, and he's all about the long term. So there's something here you're going to feel right off the bat with people that everything that I explained earlier, okay? And this is when, remember how last week I said when outer planets move, they move, you really feel it? You're going to feel Uranus, okay? You're really going to feel Uranus, especially because you're still under the window of the full moon in Taurus. So there's got to be something here, especially with people that you connect with, as well as resources, your values, even food. Yeah, that's Taurus energy. But money, baby. It's going to be a big thing because we are in Scorpio season. You have Pluto highly active this month with a lot of aspects that we'll talk about next week in your 8th house of wealth building. Yeah. And then you have, you have a lot going on. But just know this is not a quiet transit. There is a little bit of a rumble to it. So you're going to spend some time reevaluating this month what brings you comfort, what brings you stability, what makes you feel, secure. A lot of material possessions are involved around this time as well. You're making adjustments with all these other retrogrades, okay? And the other thing is, the reason why I think this is so great for you is because, again, you've got Uranus out of your 12th for a little bit. And then you have Uranus back in Taurus. And so during this time all month, when you're reassessing, reinventing yourself, which is a very classic Uranian trait, it's in your 11th house. So you may have some pivots and adjustments about your future. And this is a perfect time to do that. Okay? It's a great time. Again, this is part of your personal revolution, and all in the name of becoming the best version of yourself. And it seems like it's just something that you really need at this point to just feel that charge of that Scorpio stellium at the same time with Venus, Taurus's ruler. Again, it's such a complex month, but you've got Mars in Sagittarius. You're going to be really busy. And I think that this month it's going to be a lot of adjustments you make, and especially with what you want for your future. I think that there's going to be something where you're really going to have this moment of awakening. Okay? Now, the other thing is that speaking of this Scorpio stellium, yeah, it's still part of this. You're going through radical change. It's just non-negotiable. Everybody is with what's happening. This Scorpio stellium, which is 3 or more planets in a sign, right? That's a stellium. It's going to be all month, even when we move into Sagittarius season. And I am going to explain that to you, but just know that there can be some sudden things that happen in the first week. Now, Sunday, November 9th, you see that Mercury will go retrograde. Okay, we know what happens, right? We don't have to talk about it. Delays, miscommunication, things like that, right? Especially with travel. Mercury rules travel. Sagittarius also rules travel. It is in your 6th house, so there will be some miscommunication with colleagues, employees. Did you get the email? Did you feel who took the last cup of water from the water cooler? Like things that they're just going to be miscommunication. Okay, keep that in mind. While Mercury's retrograde in Sagittarius. Now, here's the other thing is that Sagittarius is such a strange place for Mercury, right? Mercury rules Gemini, the opposite sign of Sagittarius. So Mercury is very far away from home. Gemini is all about the mind. Sagittarius is more about your beliefs and your belief system. And so it looks like a lot of you are going to be going on work trips. A lot of y'all may be doing wellness retreats as well. There may be some travel involved with this Mercury retrograde, but the biggest thing here is you are going to be spending time re-examining your belief system. You're all about becoming wiser and re-examining your daily life. Do you see how that fits in with Uranus moving back into Taurus for you, and especially work? You had Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your 10th house of career all summer. Yeah, so there's just something here that's lining up. It's just very interesting to see what's happening for Cancers, right? So there just may be some adjustments. Some of y'all are going to also, there's got to be some changes with your lifestyle. Possibly patterns, old habits. They're retrogrades, right? So a lot of things from the past within you, your subconscious, people from the past are definitely going to be in the picture too, okay? Especially bosses, colleagues, employees, anything within the workplace, work environment, but also it could be like former doctors, health professionals, even maybe like yoga teachers or personal trainers. They all may, or you may be reaching out to them too. All right. Now, the other thing is that, also remember Mercury retrograde, just as long as you're aware that there is a possibility that there can be some delays, miscommunication, etc., tech glitches, then you're just a little bit more responsive than reactive. Should they happen? They don't always happen. Should they happen, right? Okay. The other thing, I'm just looking at what's going on for you. A lot of y'all are traveling, okay? So with that said, and it is Thanksgiving, by the way. So yeah, like you're going to be traveling. Just be mindful of that because you want to book everything now. Now, Tuesday, November 11th, that's when Jupiter goes retrograde in your sign. Jupiter retrograde until March 2026. Feels like it's so far away from, right? Um, but I did mention that time is speeding up. I talked about that in my live stream, right? And what? It's November, so time is going really fast. It's not a bad deal though. Jupiter retrograde, it's actually really good because it's in your sign. And so now you add this third layer. Of course, you have all these other retrogrades. You have Saturn, you have Neptune in your ninth house, your belief system. You are changing your view on things. You're working on self-belief. You are like when I say the big picture, there's something setting you up to have this Truman and Truman Show exit, like at the end. There's something really powerful happening for you, Cancer. And it's very exciting. All right. Now, Jupiter retrograde, again, really great. It's more about you spending time with you. I mean, it's in your sign. Jupiter's in your sign, right? So growing internally, all that expansion, all that abundance, really connecting with the inside, intuitively, with your intuition, spiritually, a lot of nurturing energy here, a lot of home and family energy for you as well. All right. But this is all about your personal development. And yes, you are, and growth and wisdom, but you are still going to receive the blessings and good fortune and luck. It's Jupiter, right? All month. And great stuff happening, but at this point, you've got Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Mercury, and Jupiter all retrograde from this point forward. So, what does that mean? Take that time for yourself, okay? Do breath work on your chi, your chakras, your manifestations. Spend time in nature. Yeah, jump in a pile of leaves. Make leaf angels. If that's even a thing, I just thought that up. So anyway, you're definitely gonna have a lot of home and family stuff. Okay. Now the other thing is that let me see. I'm trying to like handpick some aspects for every sign. Give y'all a little different things, but let's just go to Sunday, November 16th. This is it. This is the big one for you. You've got the Sun trine Jupiter. One of the best aspects of the year. One of the luckiest days of the year, of the month, the luckiest day, in fact. Now, this is so special. I want you to take a marker. I want you to take a big marker, circle it in your calendar. Okay? You don't have a marker, use your lipstick, whatever. Just make sure that you pay attention to this day. In fact, not just this day, but the next 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. Okay? Because you have the Sun trine Jupiter, right? Jupiter's in your sign. Sun in Scorpio in your fifth house of joy and pleasure. And then the next day, Monday the 17th, you have the Sun trine Saturn. So remember what I said earlier, what's spilling over from October is Jupiter trine Saturn. What does that mean? You have a grand water trine again, but this is with the Sun. And they're bringing Saturn into the mix. Saturn, I mean, all planets, 25 degrees. It's perfected. This is huge. This is a really big. There's something here. There's heart expansion. There's this graciousness. There's a lot of abundance for you. Huge amount of abundance. Okay. Limitless. This is big. You're definitely going to feel this days before, pretty much all week. All right. Now, this is, remember, Saturn and Neptune together in Pisces in your ninth house. You got Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, but you still have other planets there, like Venus. And then you've got Jupiter in your sign. So this is hitting your first, ninth, your fifth. What does this mean? It means you are definitely expanding your horizons through a lot of things that bring you pleasure and joy, or they're just going to be brought to you. A lot of this is going to be with love and romance. And again, you have so much family stuff, significant other, creative projects, travel, book publishing. Are you working on that book? Probably. Like, I'll go back to books that you're working on that maybe you abandoned for a little bit. You got really busy, right? You're coming back to it.
So this is really great. It's really nice. And there may be some things involved with like foreign cultures, foreign lands. Yeah, like I said, a lot of you are going to be traveling, if not physically, like travel of the mind. But whatever's happening here, it's all about the big picture. Now, I really want you to pay attention to this day in particular because, wait for it, the moon will be in Scorpio. So, as you know, if you are a subscriber, I do talk about the moon in Scorpio. I will always point it out. The moon in Scorpio does bring in intensity. Scorpio energy is intense, right? And so the fact that you have Venus here, you have a stellium in Scorpio, right? It adds a little bit more intensity. Let's just keep it light, all right? But you still have that, you're gonna have it. I gotta have this. I'm gonna get it. That type of energy. But it's in your 5th house. Go forth. This is fun and pleasure. This is joy. This is so exciting. Absolutely exciting. I really love it. You're never going to have this again. You're never going to have this grand water trine again. Okay. I mean, you will eventually, but not at these degrees, right? So, anyway, the other thing is actually the next time would be like 12 years from now. Anyway, what I was going to say is that on this day, yeah, you do have the moon in Scorpio as well, but you also have Mercury in Sagittarius that's going to sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So you see how Pluto is really going to be stealing the show in a lot of these aspects as well. And this is just really bonkers because, I mean, you've got the Scorpio stellium, you've got the Grand Water Trine, you have this amazing aspect. It's a party in the sky. Yeah? Very boogie nights. There's so much happening here for you. And Mercury sextile Pluto, again, there's some words that are going to be said. We'll leave it at that. And we'll have to do with relationships. Yeah? Deepening them. And building wealth, as well as your legacy, to be honest, and sex. All right? Now, the other thing is you have got Tuesday, November 18th, Mercury retrograde so far back in Sagittarius that it crosses that 0 degree point, moves back into Scorpio. So now you have the planet of communication and the mind that just joined the party, right? And this is just bonkers because now you've got 4 planets in Scorpio. Oh, I told you but it's just so, it's almost like, that Scorpio energy, like I said, the lower expressions would be like jealousy. It's like, I'm jealous. I'm like, you got 4 planets in your 5th house of fun and pleasure and creative projects and everything else that I said. Anyway, y'all are going to have a blast. This is going to be really exciting because the moon will conjunct Venus. Yeah. So that's just so much affection, but strong affection and you're gonna be like a magnet. You've got Mercury conjuncting the sun too. There's this huge clarity that you're gonna have. You see what's happening, so there's something here building up to something a little bit bigger. Just remember, there may be some secrets still coming out, right? There may be some truths. It's that truth serum energy, so keep that in mind because Mercury's back into Scorpio. So another thing with that, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio means that the fact that Mercury was in Scorpio pretty much all of October, there's going to be themes from October that come back around as well for you, Cancer. All right. Now, what else is happening for y'all? There's a lot of people from your past returning. This is even with the moon involved here. There's something to be said about emotional truth telling. There's some truths, again, just revelations, but you just divulging things, but also being very, very honest. Now, you see how it leads up to the 19th or the 20th, depending on where you live. We have the new moon in Scorpio, 28 degrees. It's a late degree, but it's also a late new moon. It's at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a new moon in your 5th house. And this new moon, just like the full moon in Taurus, is not quiet. It's like the new moon here in Scorpio took a shot of espresso. And that's not only because Mercury is very active. Mercury's going to be conjuncting the new moon. But Mercury and the new moon will be opposite Uranus. Again, back in Taurus now in your 11th house. So there's something here. Mercury's going to try Neptune too, which is really great. I feel like there's something here that you needed to see, you're going to see. This is a very emotionally charged new moon, and it's all gas, no brakes, all right? You basically have your grand water trine, right? With the sun, Jupiter in your sign, and Saturn, meaning this new moon is actually part of the grand water trine now. And Mercury perfecting Neptune, but then it is that Uranus opposition where there can be with Mercury, right? So there can be some sudden news, unexpected news, you making an announcement, you saying something you didn't mean to. There could be someone saying something. Remember, miscommunication with Mercury retrograde. All right. But a lot in the home space or the love space, love and creativity, creative projects. But remember, Uranus is also breakthroughs. There could be something here, like I said, that needed to be said. Secrets being revealed. Coming to the truth, coming to the surface, okay? Also, just really charged up compassion on top of the passion, right? With Neptune and Mercury. So here's the bigger issue. Well, it's not even an issue. It's like one of the best things for you. Venus, that's in Scorpio, will be connecting with the nodes of fate. And you have this great nodal axis. So what does it even mean? You've got Venus in Scorpio in your 5th house, trine the North Node in Pisces, sextile the South Node in Virgo. So it just looks like there's something here where there's a verbal agreement. Whatever it is, it's fated. It's the nodes of fate. We'll talk about more in the weekly forecast, but a lot of y'all having babies too. Congratulations. Now, the other thing is, or because you have so much family energy, like welcoming like a grandkid, like a grandchild. Now, November 20th is the Mercury Kazemi. Yep. The Sun conjunct Mercury in Scorpio. So there is some sort of refresh, reset. We'll talk about your weekly forecast because the bigger thing here is Uranus in Taurus, sextile Neptune and Pisces. Major highlight not only of the month, but of the year, not only of the year, of the decade. Why? This is super rare. Okay? That's why I got its own box. And the hot pink. Now, why do I love this so much for you? Well, first, it's at 29 degrees. And it's so strong, okay? The orbit, it's just really strong. This is, remember, part of the prison portal, right? You're in a sextile Neptune is one of those aspects. And I told you that for the next few years with these aspects, you're going to have peaks throughout the next few years. Well, this is the biggest peak of 2025. We did have this in August, but it's in different signs. Yeah, you're really going to feel this one. This is a big one. Now, remember, both planets are retrograde, and so a lot of this is internal, but this is like the magnitude of this is really strong. And because they are outer planets, you're going to feel it. It's like undercurrents. Yep. The last time we had this aspect to this degree was the late 1960s. All right. What happened back then, right? Revolution, personal revolution. It was poetry, emotion. It was visionary. It was artistry, compassion for humanity, all of that. So the fact that Uranus is back into Taurus in your 11th house, which is humanity, by the way, but that's why it's like the masses. It's your network, people that you connect with. And then you've got Neptune and Pisces in your 9th, which is all about the big picture, expanding your worldview, right? It's all about broadening your horizons. But with something like this, with Uranus back into Taurus, and this is what I've been building up to, with this aspect, there is something here to be said about life purpose for you. I think that you're going to go really deep here. You have Mars in Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius is, the ruler of the ninth house, where you have Saturn, where you have Neptune, where you have the North Node. So there's something here where it's just very opening up a whole new world for you. Like I said, your personal revolution, big breakthrough energy. There's definitely big changes to come for you. So just pay attention to this cluster of dates. You're definitely going to have major epiphanies. All right. Now, get a journal, write things down. You're going to have a lot of ideas. Now, Friday the 21st. Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. We move into Sagittarius season. And then, so yeah, you're just going to have a big focus here with Mars and now the Sun in Sagittarius for the next 4 weeks. You're going to be busy. Busy, busy, busy. All right. And everything that you do from this point, it's almost like all your motivation is you're just going to feel compelled to become wiser in what you do. All right. With all this Sagittarius energy. Now, the other thing is, and when I say that, that is also identifying things that you don't want to do. Okay. Great. I'm glad we have that chat. November 22nd, Cancer. Yeah, we have Mercury now in a grand water trine with Saturn and Jupiter in your sign. Looks like someone's signing something. A lot of y'all are. Oh, there's some great stuff happening for you. And again, we'll talk more about all of this when we get to your weekly forecast. There's a leadership energy that's happening around this time too for you. We also have, well, let me see. We'll talk about that in the big thing, November 26th. I don't even know if it's on the whiteboard. Venus now having a grand water trine. And you're involved. Jupiter's in your sign. So all of these grand water trines, obviously all the water signs are going to be impacted the most. But you have Jupiter exalted in your sign. You're going to feel it the most. Saturn bringing that stability, that structure. But with this one, it really is like Venus and Saturn that kind of like leads the way here. I really like this. It's almost like they're pulling you on a sleigh. And again, it's just like there is something being stabilized long term when it comes to love and money and relationships and creative projects. There's something really special. This is your month, Cancer. All right. Now, Thursday, November 27th, gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Saturn going direct. We'll talk about this when we get to it. Okay. This is another big transit. Saturn's been retrograde since July. And as I said, Saturn has been in your ninth house. All right. Since March 2023 with Neptune. So what does that mean? Saturn's been testing you, giving you life lessons since March 2023 in your belief system. You've been your self-belief has been tested. Saturn's been doing that, has been throwing you a lot of things, but also, there could be something here with just your spirituality as well. It's the ninth house. So there is something here. Your philosophies, you were going through a lot of changes in a spiritual way, right? But also it was just to help you broaden your horizons, open you up to new things. And you have to admit, Cancer, a lot of the things that you experienced since March 2023, you probably didn't before that with Saturn in your ninth. And so you started seeing things in new ways. But anyway, we'll talk about more in your weekly forecast, but it is, it's really nice. It's just, at this point, you're going to be asking yourself really big questions. Like, where do you stand now with your belief system and how you see things, your philosophies, but also what is it that you need to, it's like put all the pieces together now. You're going to start having everything fall into place with you. With like 5 million grand water trines in your sign, there's something stabilizing for you. And remember, Saturn's direct now, so you got a lot more power with him. And then November 29th, you have Mercury going direct in Scorpio, no longer retrograde, and Venus moving into Sagittarius. Where she's going to join the Sun and Mars. So now you have a stellium in Sagittarius. So to be honest, that's going to, all the Sagittarius energy really is going to have a big impact on you because Jupiter in your sign, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So there is this overlap. And that's why I say, like, whatever you do, it's all in the name of becoming wiser. And by that, anything that you don't want as part of your daily activity and work, it's just, you're going to know. Let's get started, Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you for November 2025. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, Cancer. Let's do this. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Cancer, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much for being here. You're gonna go. This is a big month. It's a very transformative month for everybody, but I just feel like you're out of that like lock of Libra season. And again, you just do much better in Scorpio season. And then when we get to, anyway, let's go. Let's do this. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be a month. You're gonna have to face a lot. All right. You're gonna have to face a lot. Truths coming to the surface. Being honest with yourself. A lot of it is gonna be circumstantial. You have the Page of Wands. Good for you. Amazing. Like I said, you're going to be busy. A lot of you are going to be starting new things, but a lot of y'all have already begun. End of October. Yeah, there's just so much movement, and that was really special for you. Even the new moon that we had in Libra, that was really amazing. Love it. But here you go. Page of Wands. So there's something. Mars moving into Sagittarius in your 6th house of work. There can be some shifts here. And if you're not here for work, it's just your passions. Remember, we're in Scorpio season. You have a stellium in Scorpio. It's all about your deep, intense passions. Like the Page of Wands. Look at him. Look at him, so compelled by that wand. In the desert landscape, he can transform that. Okay? You see the leaf sprouting from the wand there? He can turn this desert landscape into this lush, verdant garden of his passions. Very creative energy here too. You've got that. You have a stellium in your 5th house of creativity. What is the root of that? Create. Okay. It feels like there may be someone coming into your life too. So like you're seeking that, right? And like companionship, but it can be in so many different capacities, love or work. There's something there. Yeah. 4 of Pentacles and the heart of your spread. So talk about stabilizing. Yeah. Remember, I said, even the first week, there's going to be some rumbles. Yep. With that Taurus energy. But this is more about partnerships for you. And this is more about home and family for you. So there's something here where it's just saying, let's put some focus there. Okay. Let's be in a place where we are really not being in a place where we're worrying or stressing or even distancing ourselves from people because we're constantly worrying about something. Okay. You've got the 4 Pentacles attributed to Capricorn, your opposite sign. So there is something here with partnerships, relationships, and whatnot, maybe even contracts. There may be something here. Remember, you have, like I said, home and family stuff. There may be a lot of y'all moved or are in the process of maybe moving, but either way, there's maybe even buying property or selling property. Either way, this is just saying we're going to put our house in order. We're going to put everything in order. Okay. 4 is all about stability. It's all think about 4 legs of a table. Okay. So that's what you're going to be doing here, especially with your finances. But remember, Pentacles are your physical reality as well. And just anything that you need to put a little bit more attention on, let's do it. But in a way, you're still grounded. You're still heart focused. He's covering up his heart. He's standing on pentacles. He's disconnected from earth. He's got that on his head. It's blocking his crown chakra. So just be mindful of that. This is a lot of materialism here. And this is just keep your heart chakra open. You got the Knight of Swords in your challenge area. So there may be some words exchanged, okay, with another person. And by the way, it could be you that starts it. Just let you know. All right. Remember, all this Scorpio energy, especially Mercury moving back into Scorpio. Remember what I said last month? That's like sharp tongue. And here's the Knight of Swords in your challenge area. He's a little impulsive too. And this is just, it's like your mind moving so fast and your words are trying to catch up. And then sometimes there's this moment of like the mind stops, but then the words come out, right? So just let you know, okay? But it does seem like there may be someone you're going to have to speak with to make sure everything's cool. All right? There's a little bit of a bite here. Now, you also have the moon in your crown. So it feels like there may be something here that's taking up a lot of headspace. There is something here where if you're going to, it is a month of retrogrades, but if you're going to do a lot of shadow work, or so Scorpio season, by the way, you've got to commit and you've got to remove, right? We've got to work with it, not get stuck in it. And especially with retrograde season, where we're in all these retrogrades, there's a lot of things from the past that are going to come back around. And so don't get stuck in those moments. Ask yourself, why do these moments happen? Why was I supposed to experience this again, or see this person again, or have this moment again, or why did I think about this again? So that is how you work with these retrogrades. And you always want to trust your intuition, but this is saying, let's take some time doing some introspection. You may be overthinking, but you have the Two of Cups in the root of your spread. So really nice. This is, I mean, it's a Two of Cups. It's the soulmate card, right? Twin flame card. In layman's terms, it's two souls inhabiting one body. A lot of healing here. And what I love about this is that you have a stellium all month long in Scorpio in your fifth house of true love and romance. And remember, there's so much work stuff happening for y'all. There's partnership stuff. You have Pluto in Aquarius that's going to be very active in your eighth house of relationship building. So whatever it is, this is really special. It's almost like everything that you're doing is based on this, whether it's forming this stronger bond with someone or even wanting this really strong bond with someone. You've got Venus in Scorpio. You can get it. You can have it. All right. But there is that intensity that comes with all this Scorpio energy. In your fifth, you've got Mars and Sagittarius. You have your North Node and Saturn and Neptune and Pisces in your ninth. So when you put all the pieces together, you're going through some really deep transformation. You're going to go within deeply as well. But also, there's something here that's asking you to expand your horizons, to see the big picture, what's like in your blind spots, right? And when you do see them, you do have to confront them. Okay? You have the Eight of Swords in your future. There's something here where it's an energy of just inflexibility and there's something that's just, it's like the moon is taking over your entire space. Yeah. Your head space, your emotional space, just all of that. So take that time for yourself and do that shadow work, and don't be afraid to go deep. That's what all this Scorpio energy is requiring of you. But what's happening is Pluto, as I explained last week, is in Aquarius. That rules your eighth house. That's Scorpio's home, and Pluto is Scorpio's planet. So you kind of have to like smush those together, and it brings even more intensity. So there can be a little bit of intensity, but you can learn how to work with that as long as you trust your intuition, as long as you take a step back, look at things from with a bird's eye view, from, like if you're astral projecting or whatever you're doing, right? You're going to be fine. But this is just saying there's something that you have to come to terms with. Let's get to your stuff. I'll even clarify some of that, Cancer. Cancer, if you like this reading, it would be great if you subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Thank you so much for having another midnight hour with me. I feel like Elvira, this big spotlight. Anyway, I love y'all. All right. Okay. Yeah. You're going to be fine. And that's the thing. Remember what I said. All this Sagittarius energy that's hitting you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways. Yeah? 6 ways. All about self-belief. You have to believe in yourself. All right? Now, and that's what holds everything together. All right? So that's really nice. You got that 10 of Wands. Here's the thing. You can't distract yourself. You may be taking on more than you should. I don't want you to. There's a little bit of, you see that he can't even see where he's going, right? He's carrying so many wands. And so there is a little bit of burden here, even like burnout energy, but he's refusing any help or support from other people. It's like, yeah, I got this. But it's because he wants to remove himself from people, right? All right. So remember, you have a really strong support system, and Uranus is moving back into Taurus. So that's the other thing. Uranus is definitely going to have some aspects that are, like oppositions as well, and squares at that 29-degree point. That can be really strong. So it could be something with friendships and groups where there may be a little bit of like, okay, well, some things have happened, but now we've got to bring it back together. You have Temperance. Did I tell you this is a Sagittarius card? Yeah. Saturn and Sagittarius. And then Temperance, Sagittarius. So do you see how it really is going to be a big factor, especially with Mars moving into Sagittarius? Temperance, you have an archangel here saying, hey, I got you. You're good. In your external factors area, you're going to be fine. Everyone's on a path. You're going to get to where you need to get to. I'm going to make sure of it. So don't worry. Don't stress. You're going to be fine. You're going to get there. But you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to trust your intuition. And when you are in the moment, when you have that awareness, right? Word I made up, clarity and awareness. Everything just falls into place. So enjoy the moment. Live in the moment. Because if you are focused on that, it takes away from your present. Yep. So you have a big sign here saying you are protected. You have the Tower. What's really interesting, a lot of y'all are in a place where you're like, there's some things here that you may not be taking action, or you may be not being honest with yourself about something that comes up this month, because you don't want things to just fall apart. But that's the thing. If it was meant to fall apart, you pick up the pieces. And then when the Tower falls, you can see. Okay? Remember, can't see. Got a pentacle on his head, covering his heart. So keep that in mind. The other thing is, a lot of y'all want it. A lot of y'all want the Tower. There's going to be a point this month where you're going to be like, there's so much happening. I just want to burn it down, build it up. Phoenix rising from the ashes. In fact, this card is attributed to Mars, the Hierophant, in your final outcome. So what did I say earlier? That I love the fact that you do have Uranus moving into Taurus, because I feel like there's unfinished business there for you. You have the Hierophant attributed to Taurus. And look at that. He's the wisest. He's the high priest. He's the connector between the divine, our physical world. He's a big leader, big spiritual leader. This is you full of wisdom, even imparting wisdom. This is self-belief, okay? You're going to get there. You have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. Cancer, let's break it down. Let's do it week by week. I wanted to see that Eight of Swords. 2 wands. Okay, that's good. Progress. Yeah. You got out. You got out. All right. Now, let's see. And the 2 wands is a strong card, by the way. There may be something here with career. Remember, you have a lot of work stuff. Work, career. Once you walk out, hey, you're the highest point in your castle. You got the world in your hand. You got a great view. Speaking of astral projecting view, the first week is when Mars will move into Sagittarius. We have the full moon in Taurus, Venus moving into Scorpio, Uranus moving back into Taurus. I mean, those are just I mean, that's a lot already. All right, let's see what's going on for you. The first week of November. Oh, more power to you. That's great. That's a lot of power. And listen, that's the Emperor. You, like I said, a lot of family energy here. He is like the father of tarot, right? Like the dad of tarot. So this ultimately at the end of the day is like mastery of self. You know who you are. You feel empowered. Hold on to that energy. You have Mars moving into Sagittarius. You have this 2 really big leaders here. And so this, and by the way, you also have the only 2 people in all of tarot who hold the world in their hands, right? He's a young emperor. And they're both Aries cards. So remember, Aries rules your 10th house of career. And your reputation and how you want to be seen. So there is a sense of rising above. But moving into this month, like having that power. He's the ruler of the land. You call the shots. So hold on to that. Yeah? Because again, that full moon might reveal things. It might have a little bit of a rumble to it. Now, the second week is Mercury retrograde. Jupiter going retrograde in your sign. And then those are big for you. And then you have the Sun trine Jupiter, the Sun trine Saturn, Jupiter trine Saturn. You have that grand water trine. Let's see what's going on for you. You also, you have Mercury. You have Mercury sextile Pluto too, which is really, really nice. And you have the High Priestess. Wow. She's a guardian of the subconscious. So when you're really going deep, when you're having these moments of reflection, revision, reassessing things, you are going to definitely go deep. Okay? She's saying you're fine. You're good. She's just like Archangel Raphael here. They're both saying like, hey, I'm protecting you. Don't be afraid to get in touch with your shadow side. Don't be afraid. There's a sense of mystery with the High Priestess as well. But what I love about this, she's highly associated with the moon, right? The moon is her ruler. You even see the phases of the moon in her headdress. So again, trust your emotions, your intuition. All the answers are inside you. So love that. You got the High Priestess, you have the High Priest, you have the Emperor, the young Emperor. Let's see the third week. You've got Mercury moves back into Scorpio. You have the new moon in Scorpio, the Mercury Kazemi. You have Uranus, sextile Neptune. You have the Sagittarius season. You have Mercury in the Grand Water Trine. There's so much happening. All right. Let's see what's going on for you for the third week. Third week of November. Oh. You're good. You and all your major arcana, so what was the very first thing I said, right? I want you to see the transits and the retrogrades as chapters of your life. And you see, even when you break it down week by week, look how powerful these chapters are. You just have to take charge. You just have to take, yeah, that's insane. Right there, right there. Wow. You got the moon, you got temperance too, but the fool, there you go. There's the first thing, take some risks, right? That's what the fool is doing. And he is attributed to the planet Uranus. You're taking risks for your future hopes, wishes, and long-term dreams. That has a lot to do with self-belief. You have to believe in yourself. He does. Okay? And you see the full abundance of the sun, which is optimism and joy, all of that. But this is no fear of the unknown, right? He's standing on the edge of the cliff. He did not a care in the world. He's not even looking down, right? So a lot of the energies are internal, okay? So use these retrogrades. Now, last week for you, Cancer, is Saturn. Oh, well, the biggest thing is like the Venus water trine. Wow. And then Saturn going back into Pisces, Mercury going direct, and then Venus moving into Sagittarius. So you are going to have a stellium there. That's going to bring a lot of like, you're going to love what you do. There's new daily activity, daily routines. Let's see what's going on for you, Cancer, for the last week of November. 7 of Wands. Yeah. That's ownership. That's you saying, nope, I got this. You're not going to take this away from me. It feels really good. That's valor. That's courage. Even a little bit of pride here too. So it's like you're proud of something. And so proud that you're not going to let anybody take it away from you. And people are going to want things from you. I remember everyone feels this Scorpio energy. Everyone gets a little bit like, oh, I want what they have, right? You're just like, nope, no way. So all in all, this is going to be a very significant month for you. Like, you've got so many major arcana. You got what? You got, okay, so you got the Fool, the Emperor, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, Temperance. Wow. The Moon, the Tower. It's a big month. It's a really big month. I like this, the Tower and the Fool. I think there is going to be a lot of y'all that really are going to have those moments of just, it's like this big reset. And you do have that Mercury Kazemi that is a reset. So anyway, Cancer, big month for you. You're going to be, oh yeah, I wanted to see that 4 of Pentacles. Actually, let me see that. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. Just listen, it's all about putting things in order. Okay. If you don't do that, if you continue to stay disconnected from people, look at that 2 of Pentacles. There's a lot of imbalance there. Okay. So you just may not feel right about it. So I got to trust your intuition. You're going to be fine. You look at all that. You're actually really good. It's honestly, it's ownership is what it is. And it's kind of like the biggest lesson that you learn by the end of the month. Look at that. All that wisdom. Like, Cancer. Oh, and tier 3 members, you know where to find the link for the second spread. We're going to we're going to look at love. We're going to look at health. We're going to look at career. We'll do it. All right. And then, really, yeah. Anyone's welcome to join. Really good and legendary members. I know it's really late and this light is really bright. Cancer, thanks so much. Next week, we'll go deeper in the aspects. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is happening. What is going on? So much. Again, it really is more about your values. And clearly, finances is a thing. But again, it's not letting them own you. It's you. It's you and your ownership and empowerment. All right, Cancer. Amazing. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.